bus, and it connects with downtown. And I can take my bike on it any time. Very handy. We'll be on Allen's side of the water in no time. Meanwhile, our latest pavement pointer looks at a very common roadside hazard. When riding on the street, remember, even parked cars can be dangerous. The best way to avoid getting doored is proper lane position. Ride at least 1 meter from parked cars. If anyone suddenly opens a door, at least you're in the right lane position to avoid getting hit. Ride safe and be alert. Hey, Alan!
Hey, Charmaine! Good timing,
Yeah, talk about timing. I got a joke for you.
Oh.
Okay, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Isabel.
Isabel necessary on a bike.
Well, what about a bell, a bass drum, and a bugle?
On a bike?
You'll see.
Okay.
This is the trumpeter band of the Royal Netherlands Army, the only band in the world that performs on bikes. They're preparing to parade through Vancouver, playing and pedaling the whole way. The bikes and uniforms date from the Second World War, an evolution from mounted cavalry units to the iron steed. However, unlike the horses they replaced, these bikes have only one gear and no brakes.
Well, sometimes when we are on a hill, it's perhaps difficult because bikes have no brakes. And getting on the bike and off the bike with an instrument in your hand is sometimes difficult.
How good I am? Yes. Well, you find out when you're on the street.
During the First and Second World Wars, bicycles were used extensively for military transport, complete with saber holder or machine gun mount, depending on the era. But today, the cyclists' only weapons are their instrument.
Now that's a great story. Hey, let's go shopping now.
Good idea. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Supersonic Cycling Individual is a video designed for parents as an aid to teach their children bicycle safety. This CanBike approved video covers 10 points to help make your child ride safer and smarter. Call 1-800-667-7718 or send 2616 to Around the Bend Productions, Post Office Box 4600, Vancouver, BC, V6B48.
You know what I hate about politics? I'm supposed to vote for some guy in a riding who ain't even on a bike. What the heck is that all about? If you're gonna call it a riding, then the politicians should be out riding a bike from the Cyclepath. Our bikes don't lie and they won't run up the debt. Plus, Cyclepath protects you with tire-to-tire warranties and expert service. Forget politicians and vote Cyclepath. And if we get enough votes, we won't run for office, we'll ride. Because you should only run if the tax man's chasing you. But hey, what do we know?
The same furniture and mattresses sold at furniture and department stores, but at warehouse prices. Brand name furniture and mattresses for every room in your home. Save up to 1/2.
United Furniture Warehouse.
Take time out from your busy afternoon and join me, James Barber, for The Urban Peasant, weekdays on CBC at 3:30.
It's that time again. James Barber, The Urban Peasant, cooking just for you on CBC.
Journalism that's compelling and innovative.
There's international, national, and we're known for our local coverage.
The I-Team, the Action Line, Journalism 101, Talkback Live, people talking to people.
There's the news at 6, there's the weather, there's the sports, and of course there's News Final at 11.
We don't just talk about this, we go out and do it. think we delivered.
The CBC Evening News with Kevin Evans and Gloria Makarenko.
I think drinking alcohol and biking is stupid.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, what's the point?
Drinking and biking is a lot safer than drinking and driving a car, and I think as long as you can keep your bike upright, that you probably aren't going to hurt yourself or anybody else.
Well, it's probably better than drinking and driving, as you're less likely to hurt somebody else, but other than yourself, well, I do it, I admit it.
Oh, I don't drink and cycle. I think it's just as dangerous as driving in a car and drinking. Accidents can happen quite easily.
A perfect day for a ride. It's warm, no wind, and hardly a car in sight. Now, what could possibly go wrong? Many things. Let's count. First of all, he didn't signal for the left turn. Second, he's in the wrong lane position for a left turn. Third, he never checked for traffic. Fourth, he didn't slow down. And so he just scoots into the intersection, cutting off a car. He's lucky this time. All left turns are potentially dangerous, but they can be made safer if you just follow a few simple rules. First, do a shoulder check before you change lane positions. Signal your left turn and move to the proper lane position. That position is here, not by the curb. Slow down and watch for traffic. Be careful that the driver notices you. And this is no time to argue. When all's clear, look both ways, signal, and make your turn. On a busy street like this one way you could turn left is like a pedestrian. Get off your bike at the crosswalk, then walk your bike across the street. Remember, the best way to make a left turn is the safest way.
This is my favorite place to buy produce, Charmaine. Woo! These bags are really going to be heavy with all this stuff in there.
Hey, Alan, let's pull over. I gotta grab something in the store. I sure wish that there were some bike racks around here. There's just something about parking my bike on a pole that just seems so exposed.
That's what you want, though. You want the bike to be visible, and then the thief's going to be visible also. I'm going to tell you something about locking up your bike that it might surprise you. But right now, here's our consumer guy, Winston Brown, with bike racks of a different kind.
Ah, the bicycle roof rack. That amazing hunk of metal that grips your bike with the strength of Hercules, keeping it safe and secure, costing you a lot of cash. Costing almost as much as 30 cases of beer, a brand new stove, or a parrot imported directly from Malaysia. So, Polly, you busy this Friday night? Maybe we go for some crackers or something. So why buy a roof rack in the first place? I mean, a rear rack's a lot cheaper. They both hold bikes, so what's the diff? Well, just imagine if you're trying to get something out of the back of your car. With a roof rack, it's easy. With a rear rack, it's not so easy. Imagine if you're riding along a road. With the rear rack, your bikes can bump around and they can scratch each other up. Same road, same bikes, roof rack. Difference is, well, the bikes are completely separated, so they're not going to scratch each other. Plus, look how sturdy they are. They're not going to move an inch. When I'm behind the wheel, I like to be able to see what's behind me. Now, bikes on rear racks can sometimes hinder my view. Not a problem with the roof rack. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, roof racks are perfect. Well, not exactly. So while I'm down here driving, the bikes are up there busy blocking the wind. In other words, they're cutting down on the aerodynamics of my vehicle. So it's going to cost me a little bit more in gas money. Now, if you're small and you don't have bulging biceps like I do, you might have a little trouble getting the bike down off a tall vehicle. What you could do is bring a stool along with you. Now, there was something else I was supposed to tell you. Oh, well, it must not have been very important. All in all, the pros to roof racks far outweigh the cons. Now, how much is a roof rack going to cost you? If you want it to hold 2 bikes or more, it's going to set you back about 400 smackaroos and upwards. Now, we tested out 3. We tested out the Terzo, the Thule, and the Yakima roof racks. Now, they were all great systems, and they all worked on the same basic idea. First, you buy your basic roof rack. Then you pay for each additional accessory to mount your kayaks, your windsurfer, your skis, and most importantly, your bike. Now, if you don't mind taking your front wheel off every time you mount your bike, here's the fork mount. What it is you mount the fork instead of the front wheel. Now, it's a lot more sturdy, and you can fit a lot more bikes on the roof rack at one time. Some of the upright mounts have tracks. Others have trays similar to this one. They both work basically the same, but trays are a lot more accommodating to different size bike tires. And your frame holder should be adjustable. Like the Yakima, this one can adjust to almost any size tubing. Now, when it comes to transporting bikes, roof racks rule. All it comes down to is going down to your local bike shop mechanic and having him help you fit one to your vehicle. Now, I just wish I could remember what that other thing I wanted to mention was. Oh well. Oh, now I remember. When you're using a roof rack, watch for low clearance. For a cycle, I'm Winston Brown.
So, Alan, what was that trick about locking my bike up to a pole?
Well, first and foremost, if the thief was big enough, they could lift the whole darn bike right over the pole.
Oh, my
but that's not everything. Watch this. Look at where you've locked your bike.
It comes right out.
The whole pole. You've really got to watch where you lock your bike up.
There's no telling what those crooks will do. We'll be back right after this.
Isn't it how a banana can get you to work in the morning or fuel you for a few hours ride around town? The fact is, without human energy, your trusty steed isn't going anywhere, but you don't want to overdo it.
It really isn't true that I have reserved parking here at McDonald's. I don't think I should have eaten all this. I think I better work it off. It won't take too long to work off 1,000 calories on my bike. This is taking forever. Seriously, though, I was riding pretty slowly on a level path. Cycling does burn a lot of calories. Exactly how many depends on how hard you're working. At low intensity, when you're not really sweating or breathing hard, you'll burn about 108 calories per half hour. At moderate intensity, when you're sweating and puffing somewhat, you'll be using about 252 calories every half hour. And if you're really going at it and feeling exhausted, it's good for 360 calories per half hour. Of course, those numbers will vary depending on your weight. The more you weigh, the more calories you'll burn. Climbing hills will burn extra calories too. Here goes. Now I can have my cake and eat it too. Got a fork, Jane?
I love switchbacks.
These tight, technical curves are a thrill to master. But before you attempt to switch back in the woods, find yourself a flat area to get the basics down. First, practice stalling, coming to a stop, and then forward again. Stop, and then forward again. Now add a turn to your stall. Stall, turn, go forward. Stall, turn, go forward. With flagging tape or small rocks, create your own switchbacks, making the turns tight enough to challenge yourself. Use these switchbacks to practice your stalling and as a safe place to try the things we're going to learn on the trail. Enter the corner from the outside. When you're ready to make your turn, steer, keeping your shoulders to the outside of the corner. Pull down and back on the handlebars to keep the front wheel on the ground as you pedal and accelerate. Descending is essentially the same as ascending, with the weight to the outside, but it is further back. Come into the switchback from the outside of the corner. When you're ready to turn, look through the corner, steer your front wheel, and roll through the turn. Keep your weight back and to the outside, leaning the bike a little bit into the corner. Switchbacks, I love them. As Martha Stewart says, it's a good thing. Happy trails.
One last stop, and we're through shopping, Alan.
And time to find out what drives you around the bend.
Well, what drives me around the bend about customers, if they bring a repair into the shop, and the bike is just caked in mud.
It just drives me nuts when you get these guys, they go out on the trail, you know, and it's just rained out. You got a ton of mud on their bike, and they walk it in here.
And they're like, "Kay, can you just give this a quick clean for free?"
Another thing that tees me off, you know, dog deposits.
Tires, knobs just filled every crack with poop.
And you go to check to see if the wheel's true or if it's warped or whatever, and you spin the tire.
You can just see the dog poo going right up here, right in that space between my teeth. And I think that happened once. I had to go home for a week.
They expect you to clean the bike and include it in the tune-up. And it's not included in the tune-up, and we can't do that. We just don't have the time. It's very hard for a mechanic to do.
CBC Stereo.
Working all the time.
Listen to him almost every day. He looks younger than I thought.
He sounds kind of insane on the radio.
It's the feast day of St. Coleman, the patron of roast beef.
He has respect for cats.
It's bright and it's eclectic.
Where's the choppers?
Oh, yes.
Jürgen Goth on Disc Drive, weekday afternoons on CBC Stereo. Immigration.
Who gets in, who stays?
Series champs are in business this summer.
What's that you were saying about calories taking hours to burn off?
And what's that you were saying about shopping when you're hungry?
Hey, manana. I'll work it off tomorrow.
I'll work mine off today. And here's what you'll see on future episodes of Cycle.
Cycle touring, getting yourself ready for the open road.
BMX, bet you thought it was just for kids. Bet you thought it was just for kids.
Pack up your panniers and discover touring.
And ditching the car for a new set of wheels.
Coming up on Cycle. Alan Chiverill. Welcome to Cycle.
And I'm Charmaine Crooks. On today's episode, we're going to find out why anyone would load their bicycle with 50 pounds of gear so they can ride all day to get to a site to eat out of one pot and to sleep on rocks.
Wow, I can tell you're really into this. We're talking about bike touring. The trend today is for people to take a more active vacation, and bike touring is big business. You can take your bicycle anywhere in the world.
But we're not going to take a full vacation today, but we are going to gear up and go for a day ride.
I wasn't sure what kind of gear I'd need on the trip, so I decided to seek the advice of an expert on bike touring, Mark Donaldson.
Okay, Alan, what we've got here is equipment to make you a totally self-sufficient bicycle tourist. What we're going to start out with first is your accommodations. What we've got here is a lightweight nylon tent, aluminum poles. It weighs about 5 pounds. It will keep the rain out. It's about a 1-2 person tent. You don't want to get too heavy. To sleep on, we have a self-inflating nylon mat. You can use a blue foamy if you'd like. This is fantastic because it is lightweight and it packs up to be a real small size, fit inside your pannier. We have a really lightweight sleeping bag. This only weighs just over 1 pound, and it's a down-filled nylon sleeping bag. It's great for dry weather. If you're going someplace that's a little wet, like Ireland, Scotland, maybe the West Coast, you might want to choose something that's synthetic, but make sure you don't get it too heavy. 3 pounds is kind of getting a little heavy. Again, this is really nice. It's lightweight, and it packs up to be really, really small. Now, what we've got here are different foods that are good if you're going to be really self-sufficient and you can't get to a place that has fresh food. Good things to think about taking are these power bars or food supplement bars. Now, they're really small and lightweight, and they'll give you a lot of energy if you need that extra boost at the end of the day. Lights are pretty important. I've got here a hands-free headlamp. You can set your tent up in the dark because this fits on top of your head. It's a real handy piece of gear, and it's really lightweight. A candle lantern that folds down. This can go in your tent, gives you a lot of light, enough to read by or maybe to write some letters or whatever you want to do. What we have here is a lightweight camp stove and a lightweight pot. This is a nylon windbreaker rain jacket. You notice that it has a couple of features that are important for cyclists. It's well ventilated, it has pit zips underneath the arms here, but at the same time it will keep rain and wind off of you. We've chosen a polypropylene top. Nylon or polyester will do as well. And we've got a pair of nylon shorts that are great for bashing around in after. You can swim in them, and they double as just kind of casual shorts. Okay, Alan, that's about it. This is all the stuff you'll need. We've already packed your bike up for you. We've distributed all the weight properly. Everything's here. You're ready to have a good time.
Thanks, Mark. I will.
Oh, great.
Okay, I got my pots and pans, sleeping bag, and my toothbrush. You're set. Okay, we've just got to meet some friends, get your bags. Charmaine, where are your bags?
Hey, they're on the way. The great thing about cycling is that it offers choices. Take touring, for example. It's not for everyone, but it's getting more and more popular.
And BMX, that's not for everyone either, but it's getting hot and hotter still. When you think of BMX, you probably think of this. Or even this.
What's your nickname?
Lip's good because, like, I've wiped out so many times, and it's always like I always get like a big lip when I fall.
But BMX is not only about kids, dirt, and blood.
What this is, it's a sport where fathers, daughters, sons, and mothers, if they're crazy enough, can all participate in the same sport, in the same place, on the same day.
Out at the Surrey, BC Action BMX track, a group of parents and kids come together every summer to run races and have a good time.
I'm the stager. I tell the people which lanes they go up on the race, for the race.
And you?
I'm just a corner person. I'm going to tell everybody when a rider's down not to drop the gate or to go ahead, or we basically watch out for the riders and make sure that they don't make any wrong moves.
The bikes are light alloy, often expensive, and have only one gear, forward.
The reason I'm changing this front sprocket is I've just turned the back wheel around. And if you're running on a longer track, you want to change your gear ratios around a little bit. You know, there always is a little room for adjustment. And, you know, if you're running too small a gear on the front here and too big a gear on the back, by the time you get to the end of a long track, your legs will be really tired. And so I'm changing and playing with the gear ratio a little bit, so by the time my son gets to the end of the track, he'll have probably a lot more energy than he would if I didn't change the gear.
After a short spell in the limelight, BMX racing faded away, but it is making a slow comeback.
I would say over the past 2 years, it's starting to grow again. It took a fall there for a little while between probably, I'd say between 90, 91, 92. Those couple of years were really slow, but the last couple of years have been real positive and starting to increase again, and our motor counts are starting to go back up, and the interest is starting to take off again. I think we'll be seeing a lot more riders in the next year pick up again.
In communities all across Canada and the U.S., this sound has become one of the unmistakable signs of summer.
Ready? Watch the light!
Cycling is fun, and it also has its more practical purposes, like commuting. Takes a lot of commitment, but it's worth it.
Today we start a series of reports on one woman's decision to join the revolution. She's trading in 4 wheels for 2.
Kristen Kyle gets up every morning, and like most of society, she drives to work. Like most people, she's getting tired of the traffic. The difference is she's ready to do something about it.
I get to work and a little bit frazzled. It's certainly not the most enjoyable part of my day. It's really not a great way to start your day and end your day in the car. That's my perspective anyway. I started considering taking my bike to work or commuting on my bike really for 2 main reasons. One was really finding it difficult to get enough physical activity in during the week. And also from the economic point of view, it's either time to buy a car or get on the bike. So that was really the reason for my decision to start commuting to work.
Hello.
Hi there.
Can we help you with something?
Yeah, I'm actually ready to purchase a bike. I'm looking for a bike that I can commute with. Probably about 20 kilometers is my daily commute.
Oh, yeah?
And I'd also like to be able to take it off-roading and be able to use it on the weekends. So it's going to be kind of multi-purpose. I'm thinking a mountain bike is probably what I'm going to have to go with.
Yeah, you probably want a mountain bike, yeah. We have one on sale for $6.90. That's where our, pretty good quality, lightweight. Thing is that if you're going up in the money department, you're basically getting a lighter bike. Okay. These bikes they've got the bosses for the pannier bags in the back, right. The carrier first, and then the bags on top of that, which you need for...
Well, that's another thing I'll be needing, right?
Yep, yep.
Pannier bags and a rack. Okay.
And you need a lighting system, some kind or other. Okay, how much clearance you got there?
Yeah, I have 2 inches, sir.
2 inches for sure. Okay, sit up on the seat. The seat is adjustable forward and back, so that'll give you okay. And actually, this seat is not really made for a lady. It's a man's seat, so most of them are skinny and high-performance kind of seat, so it doesn't really suit you very well.
Now,
You can
change the seat
change the
if I want
seats,
that?
to
Okay.
a better, more comfortable seat. So that looks, to me, fairly comfortable. Let's do the...
Well, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm supposed to be looking for in a good commuting bike. So now it's just off to the stores, and I'm going to do some price shopping.
It's that simple.
Oh, man likes to travel light. Let's see how she feels without a sleeping bag tonight. So far, so good. Feels a little bit like a bike truck. Hey, if you're about to grab your bike and head out on the trails, hold on a second. Here's Joan Jones with a trail tip coming right up.
Screaming around the corners of logging roads is a satisfying way to kill you and the trail as one. It requires a little practice and a little nerve. It requires that you use your body to control the bike. Your butt is back on the seat and your shoulders are leaning towards the outside of the turn. Your outside foot is pushing hard onto the pedal, which is in the down position. Finally, move your inside knee away from the bike. Before you enter the corner, there are a few things you should do. First, scan for a clear line. Then, as you ride, look through the corner to the end of this line. Second, brake just before the corner. If you want to brake once you are in the turn, use your rear brake only. The best line through a turn begins on the outside edge before the corner, then cuts to the inside edge or apex of the turn and continues through to the end on the outside. After passing through the apex, start pedaling and accelerate. This will help you gain control and will right the bike under you. It is also the best way to leave your friends behind. Happy trails!
It's great to get out of the city, even for the weekend. But if you're one of those riders that couldn't, we're going to show you how to avoid the right turn squish.
Touring by bike is fun anywhere. And if you plan to take your bike on some faraway trip abroad, and if you're going by plane, here's a few tips for you to remember.
I know what you're thinking. How are you going to get your bike on that plane and get to your destination safely with it? Well, there are a few things you can loosen and take off. It's not a requirement, but it's going to make sure that the bike arrives there undamaged. First, loosen the handlebars and take them out of the frame using your Allen key. They'll stay attached to the bike. They'll be placed sideways, making it nice and narrow. Second, using your 3-inch adjustable, loosen the pedal. Now, the thing about pedals is there's a right and there's a left, and it'll be marked on the pedal somewhere, L and R. So when you get to your destination, be really careful. Put the left side on the left and the right on the right, and it'll work out fine. You'll probably have to take off the seat, and you may or may not have to take off both wheels to make the bike more compact. Tape. This is going to help because you can tape up the pedals and tape all the other loose parts to the frame for your voyage. And that leads to the box. Get a bike box from your favorite bicycle store and try to get the biggest one that you can. Okay, this is ready. Now I'm going to take off the front wheel. That'll make the bike a lot smaller. And voila! All right, get the front wheel in there securely. Seat. You got to have that on the voyage. Close the box. Tape it up. Don't forget to bring your Allen key and your wrench, because how are you going to put the bike back together when you get to your destination? Have a good trip. If you want to travel by air with your bike, ask the airline about whether you'll have to pay any extra fees. Will the airline be liable for any damages? Is your bike considered a piece of luggage? And how can you retrieve it at your destination? Hey, Charmaine, cycling's a great sport. It's fun, it's fast, it's a great way to keep fit.
It's not supposed to be a contact sport,
Hey, you'd
though.
never know it by some of the moves some cyclists make.
I've got a feeling we're going to see that maneuver called the right turn squish.
Whoa, this is a dangerous move, and it's one that's made every day by cyclists and motorists.
There it is, the squish. Let's take a look at what happened in slow-mo.
From the very beginning, they're in the wrong lane. Watch them go through this intersection.
Here's the problem. They move next to the curb, making it almost impossible for the driver in that van to see them.
Yeah, it's a terrible move, and they probably think the driver knows where they are. But let's watch. Look at the driver. She's looking for oncoming traffic, not cyclists. Watch what happens now as the van makes its right turn. Watch this.
There it is. Let's look at that same move again, but this time avoiding the squish.
As the cyclists approach the intersection, they don't move over to the curb. They stay in the correct lane position.
Now that's a smart move on the part of the cyclist, Alan.
Now watch. Watch what happens as the van gets close. The cyclists have seen the van, seen that it wants to turn right, so they move closer to the center lane, not over towards the curb.
That's a fantastic move because it gives the driver plenty of room to make the right turn, and they're in the proper position to go through the intersection.
It's a simple play that all cyclists should practice. If you're planning to go straight through an intersection, stay in your correct lane position. Here, not over by the curb.
Remember, you don't want to wish for a right turn squish.
As we said earlier, bike touring is big business. And this is a guy that should know all about it, Mark Macklin. How you doing, Mark?
Good, Alan. Great day for a ride.
Beautiful. Hey, tell me, Mark, who goes on these bicycle tours?
All sorts of people. I mean, different companies do specify certain trips as being, say, maybe a family trip or a singles trip or something like that. But on any given trip, you'll find couples, single people, people, you know, over the age of 50, 60. Really, it's just a matter of their enthusiasm.
And where do they go on the tours?
Companies like the one I work for, we run trips in about 60 different destinations around the world. So really, it's up to people and where they want to go. Europe, the Far East, perhaps the South Pacific, or even here in the west coast of Canada.
What kind of fitness level would I have to get on a tour?
Pretty much any company will offer trips for beginners, but of course, you know, the better shape you're in, the more you're going to enjoy any particular vacation. So, you know, the object of the game is just to sort of see how the trips are designated and try and pick one that's, you know, suitable for your abilities, and of course do a little bit of training beforehand.
And what kind of a support could I look forward to on a tour?
Funny you should ask that. Everybody asks that. Plenty of support. I mean, most companies the size of, say, Backroads offer a full support van and trailer, and people can carry as little or as much as they want during the day. And when it gets to be a little too much, if you're a little tired, our bottom line is, you know, if it stops being fun, maybe that's time to shorten your day a little bit and hop in the van.
So if you're interested in going to Chile, Peru, Germany, whatever, just get in touch with one of your cycling associations. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Alan.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that flicker.
Cycle. Now, you look to be holding up pretty well.
I am, but you don't look so bad yourself.
I'm traveling light tonight. Now, tell me, how did you first get into touring?
I was over in Europe working, and I had my bike with me because I knew I wouldn't be able to buy a car. And when I finished work, I decided to just hop on my bike and go touring because it just seemed to be a very easy thing to do over there. I didn't have any of the gear. I didn't know how to fix a flat tire, nothing. So it was a very new thing for me, but I caught on really quickly, and it was a great experience.
So you must have seen some wonderful cities along the way, too.
Yeah, I have. I just got back from Chile and Argentina, spent 2 months down there, and I've also been, as I said, in Europe, Canada, United States, a bit of Mexico, New Zealand, down the Pacific coast twice.
What's the best part about touring for you?
I really enjoy meeting the people that you see along the road. A lot of people will come up to you and ask you what you're doing and why and be completely amazed, and then they'll invite you over for dinner, you know, give you a bed to sleep in, tell you that you can call your parents from home, from their house, and that kind of stuff. So it really says a lot about people when they can approach you like that.
And what's the most challenging part for you?
There's a lot of isolation involved, especially if you're touring alone, but I don't really mind that. The thing that I really do mind are headwinds, because you can't see them and there's nothing you can do about them. They're there. You have to keep going through them.
Thanks so much for joining us and sharing that with us. And sharing the road is what safe cycling is all about.
In fact, Share the Road was the name of a special program put on by Cycling BC. The aim was to get more cooperation between cyclists and motorists.
Share the Road is a way of reaching out to cyclists and helping them communicate with motorists. We're trying to overcome some communication problems and also try to assert ourselves on the roadway in an easy sort of a way, in a way that doesn't break any traffic laws, of course, and that follows the traffic principles.
Share the Road clinics, such as this one, provided cyclists with a free introduction to CAN bike traffic safety skills.
The greatest value of these clinics is that an ordinary cyclist can ride in traffic and they recognize where the problems occur, where motorists make the most mistakes and where cyclists make the most mistakes. And so a neophyte cyclist can come to us fearing the road and riding only on the sidewalk and maybe ride away knowing what to look for, where to look for it, and at what times of the day.
It's good to, like I said, get a bit of a reminder so I can say, okay, got to start watching for this again, you know? Because you get in your own groove and you just keep going and you're used to what you're doing, so.
It helps me to get, learn about the road and where my position on the road is, because I thought, well, maybe you're supposed to only be on the right-hand side, but if you take a lane, it's much more safer. And I didn't know that until I got here.
Ooh, what an excellent workout.
Good.
But then, Charmaine, You really wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I got here, didn't I?
I don't understand. This was our camping special. I got my bags, my sleeping bag. I got all my gear. I'm hauling everything.
You're all set?
They've got all their stuff,
Looks
the
good.
tents, everything. You didn't bring anything. Where are you going to sleep? What's going on?
I think I see my stuff coming just about now.
Oh, no. We'll be right back after these few words.
Save up to 1/2 on brand name furniture and mattresses. Quality.
I have to say it. You sure know how to rough it.
Roughing it. Alan, touring comes in many, many forms. This time, you rough it your way, I'll rough it mine. Some water?
I guess so.
You'll see.
Thanks for watching. Here's what's coming up next time on Cycle.
Mountain Biking 101 and the teacher who makes it happen.
The Velcro Brothers and the 5-year bike trip. Good night, Charmaine.
Bye, Alan. Have a good sleep in the tent. Hope it doesn't rain or snow or hail on you.
See you next show. Oh, I love nature. Oh.
There's so much natural beauty and history in Stanley Park, and we've had a great time enjoying it. What's wrong with that?
These totem poles behind me.
Behind us.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
The whole pole comes out.
That's terrible. There's no telling what those crooks will do. It's important to really make sure it's locked up to a proper pole or a proper bike rack.
That's my line. First of all, the person's tall enough, they could lift the whole darn bike right up over the top of the signs.
Good.
But that's not it. Watch this. This is where you locked your bike up. I'm gonna knock this whole cake out. I'm Alan.
And I'm Charmaine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm Supersonic Cycling Man. So long!
Special thanks to Pedal, Canada's #1 cycling magazine, the ultimate bike accessory.